What is going on, you guys? This is Colin here with
Cameron.
And today we are going to be talking about cheating in sports. And also the fight that recently occurred in the NFL with Myles Garrett, the Cleveland Browns, and the Pittsburgh Steelers. That and more after this. Alright, so first thing we're going to talk about is the Houston Astros potentially stealing signs in a way that is illegal in the game of MLB. And what this means is, to give you some background, when a pitcher and a catcher are determining what pitch to throw, the catcher will put a certain amount of fingers up. So, for instance, 1 for fastball, 2 for changeup, 3 for curveball, whatever.
All right.
So, sometimes if you have a runner on second, you can look and see what's going on and then make a sign or something.
Oh, and let the hitter know.
And to steal the sign.
Got it.
That is the old-fashioned way of stealing signs. Now it's obviously it's different. Catchers can change their signs now, whatever. But, when you don't know if your signs are being stolen, then, you're not going to change them, right?
Yeah.
So, the Houston Astros, allegedly.
Is it
No.
There's some damning footage.
Is it not confirmed?
Huh?
Is this still unconfirmed?
Pretty much, there's damn near a good amount of evidence, but there's just not confirmation yet. So the Houston Astros, what they did was they installed a camera in center field. So center field, is if you were to walk straight from home plate, straight out.
All right.
Straight out to that wall.
Yeah, because I had no idea what that was.
Yeah, so that is what center field is.
Understood.
So they had a camera beyond the center field wall looking at home plate. And there was a live feed to a monitor in a hallway close to the dugout.
All right, so they just had a straight shot at the signs, basically.
Exactly.
And they would be telling people what the signs were going to be live?
Do you want to know how they did this?
How?
They took a bat and would hit it against a trash can while looking at the TV.
And it would just they would just hit it a certain amount of times depending on what pitch?
Yep.
Got it.
So they would decipher the signs at first, and then they would start doing this. And personally, there are videos that you can watch that people have gone back, and it sounds like somebody's hitting a trash can with a bat. You know what? It does. If there was only one video of this very specific noise, I'd be like, it's stadium noise. You can't really differentiate.
Yeah.
But there's multiple videos of this banging, and it's consistent with what's called a breaking ball or an off-speed pitch. So what a breaking ball is it's a pitch that moves.
Got it.
So a fastball doesn't move. Changeup doesn't move that much. A breaking ball is like a curveball, cutter, slider. I know you don't necessarily know what those pitches are, but that when they move, that's when it breaks.
Yeah, I get it. To the audience, I am the non-baseball watcher here.
Yeah.
So
I'll
I'll
watch
be
a video of the ball of this happening while he explains it to
No, I know what I
No,
figure out what a
I think
breaking
I'm
ball
doing.
is.
I think
yeah.
I'm doing a good
I
job,
mean-
right?
You're doing a good job. I wasn't trying to say
yeah,
words.
I mean, I played tennis, so I know balls have spins and
There-
stuff like
yeah,
that. So
yeah.
a breaking ball would be a ball that spins down rather than go straight. Like,
So off speed is something that isn't like supposed to be over like 85 miles an hour. So some curveballs are off speed, changeup is an off speed, etc.
Mhm.
So whenever there would be a breaking ball or an off speed pitch sign, you can hear bang, 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 and yeah. So
And it's consistent over teams.
It is. What are the implications of this? Since you don't know, the history of what is around this. So the Astros, they have been a very good team. They're a really good team. Great pitching, great hitting for the past probably 5 years now. And in 2017, that is where they're being investigated for. In 2017, they won their first franchise World Series. One of their players, Jose Altuve, he's like 5'4", won MVP of the league that year.
oh wow.
And so there's literally historical implications that go along with this.
And then also, needless to say, this is like 2 weeks after they were just in the World Series. They lost.
That
but
too.
They were in the World
That
Series.
too. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna get to that.
Sorry.
So apparently, MLB is there was a report that MLB is looking at a punishment that hasn't been seen in this lifetime.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
For this current incident.
for this current incident because it ruins the integrity of the game.
Yeah.
And that is what baseball gets so hard over. That's what people love about baseball.
Yeah, like something in relation I find is like in tennis, for example.
Yeah.
When Maria Sharapova got caught for doping, like when they changed the rules on when you could dope, and she ended up still taking it, and then she got caught, but she'd already won so much stuff since then. So people were wondering, like, oh, she's always been on this. Like, do we take away these trophies because after she got off the med, she's not performed well at all? She's like barely in the top 100.
So
Rather than being in the top like two against Serena Williams.
So what this report is potentially referencing is in 1911, there was a team, the Chicago Black Sox, and they were in the World Series, and they threw the World Series. They intentionally lost the World Series because, in spite of their owner. I believe it was a dispute over wages, but I could be wrong.
That's what it was.
So MLB found out about it, and they took away past titles, and they barred a player, shoeless. I don't remember what his name is, but he was a great player, and he's not in the MLB Hall of Fame because they threw the game. And please correct me if I'm wrong about that.
What?
The Black Sox thing.
No, you're right about. I'm just trying. I think they might have actually. What was it? The Blacks. It was the Black Sox, right?
Chicago Black Sox.
Right. What I remember from hearing about the story is that they banned everyone on that fucking team.
Oh, they yeeted everyone. But I
really?
just mean like the one specific player who like absolutely would have made the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Like that kicked him out.
Yeah.
So like you're saying that there's like a precedent for like very harsh
Shoeless
punishments
Joe
in these.
Jackson. Yes.
Shoeless Joe Jackson.
Yes.
I fucking knew it was
It
Joe
was
Jackson,
yeah.
but I was like, Joe Jackson. That just seems like too basic of a name. No, this is 1911. Of course, it's Joe Jackson.
Yeah, so you're saying that there's a precedent for like really harsh punishments in these types of scenarios.
Yes.
Well, this is. I mean,
This is an entire organization. This is an entire organization doing this.
and it would be different if it was like the Mets. You know what I mean? Like if it was the Mets.
If it was the Mets doing this and they weren't like in the playoffs, then you're like, all right, like fines and suspensions.
Yeah.
But I believe that they're gonna vacate wins. They're gonna take away World Series. Also,
division championships.
Division championships. I think that's in line.
It's gonna
I-
like change the history of that team.
I think so. You know,
Yeah.
I think that there's there's damning proof. You know, and again, this is my opinion. This is my 1,000,000% my opinion. So my opinion could be wrong.
Yeah.
I have watched some of these videos where people have been like, "Oh, you know, listen, bang bang."
Yep.
And it's obvious. Granted, could people have added that sound effect? Of course. But I don't feel like people are going to go out of their way to do that.
There's also about when it comes to evidence. I just want to bring up. There's not just the evidence that you can look at now. There's the evidence of a bunch of other teams had been complaining about this.
Oh yeah.
Like the
Yeah,
Yankees have been complaining.
GMs had been in uproar
Yeah.
about this, and
So people are already talking about it.
yeah, and
Yeah.
so that brings me to this World Series, the Washington Nationals, World Series champions. Shout out to Nate Craner, resident Washington Nationals fan. That's my cousin. They had heard that the Astros were doing this, so they devised kind of a strategy as to not steal as to not give their
Makes
signs
no
away.
sense.
Yeah, as a New York Yankee fan,
Yeah.
it does suck that the Yankees might be a victim in this, but we are not going to play the victim. We are going to look forward to next year
We're the Yankees.
because we are the fucking New York Yankees and we are savages.
That's true pride, bro.
Beyond that, this goes beyond the Astros now because there are members of the management staff and former players who are now managers who were on the team part of this and are now on to that next step in their career. So for instance, former fucking Yankee, former New York Met Carlos Beltran, you may have heard of him before.
Yeah, I actually have heard of it.
Yeah, fan favorite of Carlos Beltran. I don't know about after this, but Carlos Beltran is loved in New York, and he has been made the New York Mets manager. Like that's a thing. He's now the Mets
He has
manager.
a current job.
He has a current job with the Mets.
Would that be like?
Before this all
Would that be like under review?
He literally just got it. It was like less than a month ago, less than a month.
Oh, they
ago,
might just
I
like
think.
yeet that shit back.
Well, no, I don't think that'll happen.
Oh, you don't think so?
But he could be suspended. He could be suspended for like the first like I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how heavily he was involved. Apparently pretty heavily, but he's been implicated. And if that does happen, that is the most Mets fucking thing to ever happen. The Mets are a snake-bitten franchise. I'm sorry to any Mets fans out there, but it's true. It's true.
just constantly catching strays.
They just like
Yeah.
they're
They're not shooting themselves in the foot. They're like catching a stray.
they're the cartoon that's just like falling off a cliff, falling into cactus, falling into fires, like like on some Homer Simpson
the
type
Wile E.
shit.
Yeah.
Coyote of baseball.
Yeah,
Or like
pretty much.
He's the Tom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
The
Tom
Tom
and
from
Jerry.
Tom and Jerry, yeah.
And the Yankees Jerry. This also implicates the Boston Red Sox manager Alex Cora, who was the bench coach for the Houston Astros in 2017.
Okay.
And get this, Alex Cora went to the Red Sox in 2018, and the Red Sox, with him as manager, won a World Series. There's also the Red Sox themselves have been implicated in a similar cheating scandal with using Apple Watches. but it's not quite on the same scale. It's not quite on the same scale. I don't know as many details about that one than I do this one.
No, but I get what you're saying. Like,
Can't find as much.
it's
Yeah.
It sounds like there are a lot of conspiracies that like would have been like very not looked at that are now like when implied with these people that
Yep.
have been on other teams
Yep.
become kind of like become realized, and you're like, oh, this might actually be possible. What does this mean for like just random teams that happen to be implicated?
So this also isn't just a tinfoil hat theory. You know,
Mhm.
there's been whistleblowers.
Yeah.
There's been whistleblowers who pitched for the team who were like, "Yep, we did that." Like, yeah.
That's like the difference between a conspiracy, because at first it was general managers' complaints, and you know what I mean?
Like players
Or-
saying that there's whistles coming from the dugout.
Yeah, rumors. You know
Yep.
what I mean?
Yep.
And then someone, he pitches for the Athletics now. I forget his name.
Mike Fires.
Mike Fires came out and said it to a reporter.
Yeah.
That he had warned his team that when they're playing in Houston, that they have a camera and that they're sign stealing. And then he said that to a reporter and said that I did that when I was on the team.
Damn.
Well, he didn't do it because he's not stealing. Oh, you mean
Like
yeah.
I was involved. Like
Yeah,
I,
yeah.
Like I know of this.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
that's usually how you know it's real, because it's like that person's technically shooting themselves in the foot in a way, in terms of I guess outing themselves for doing it. But
Yeah.
if you're willing to do that, generally people will like recognize that as evidence.
And
He saved himself.
Houston Astros fans have been absolutely repugnant. I think didn't I read you that email that one guy got?
Oh.
Yeah. You remember that, right? Oh, I gotta find that email real quick. Okay, so for some background, this is a YouTuber and a guy on Twitter named John Boy. His YouTube channel is John Boy Media, and what he usually does is he does like breakdowns of fights, of crazy bats, etc., home runs in important situations, all of that. And so he's a Yankees fan, but he was doing a breakdown of hearing some of the bats and stuff, and he's been doing some real digging on it. So a Houston Astros fan sends him this email, and I am reading this on my phone right now. From Stephen K to Jimmy at johnboymedia.com. Subject line fake. And again, I'm sorry for the language here, but like I am reading this. Must be pretty proud of yourself making fake videos of the Astros for YouTube likes and shoutouts on ESPN. Pretty obvious you changed the timing on the videos and added banging noises to get on trending. What a limp dick piece of shit Yankee homer you are.
Wow.
Classless clown. Of course you would do anything to get in the media. Fuck you for doing anything so damaging to a team. Especially that you would take this seriously after Mike Fires, a guy you called out for pine tar in his no-hitters, as a source to be trusted. I hope you die alone, and if any woman actually took your small Yankee cock inside of her kids, inside her, your kids all have cancer and die. You're the worst human scum in the world. Drop dead, Jimmy. Too bad you weren't on World Trade Center during 9/11, Yankee faggot.
Wow.
I think that is like...
Oh my god.
Can you imagine? Like, that person must have been seething.
I don't know if I've ever been that
Seething!
mad, bro.
Because those
I've
sentences
never
didn't
been that
get
mad.
No!
So,
It was kind of like he just did an angry Mad Lib.
Yeah.
It was just like
It was definitely like just like
throwing the blade
Yeah.
there.
limp dick, like
Like-
cancer,
like problematic
die.
poetry. Problematic poetry.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
for sure, problematic poetry. So just to wrap up, on the Houston Astros specifically, I've never been alive for this scale of cheating. Like I was alive for Barry Bonds. I was alive for, and I'm talking about within baseball.
Mhm.
I was alive for A-Rod getting busted, but these are all on an individual level. And this is an entire franchise. Will MLB take away their title? Honestly, I fucking hope so, but that's just because I'm a Yankee homer.
Yeah.
But, who knows?
Also, not just as a Yankees fan, like.
I mean, probably just as someone who likes baseball, right?
Yeah, like just as in terms of like if you think about it like kind of Law and Ordery types of in a kind of way, it's like if you like let them get away with that, like if you don't really come down on them, like that's like they conspired to cheat. You know what I mean? That's like your point. It's like this is an entire franchise.
Yeah.
And it's not just like okay, you juiced up and you were stronger so you could hit more.
Yeah.
Like no, like you like basically. You know what I mean? Like you change the outcome of the game for both sides, not just yourself, but for the other team.
Not gonna lie, but like also like from an outside baseball perspective, or like maybe in terms of like any other form of like company or franchise, just if you let this slide, they're probably actually gonna come down at like really hard. Like if I was running a business, you would definitely.
Baseball has always been about like the integrity of the sport.
No, because you gotta annihilate them. Because if you let it happen, then you set a precedent.
Yeah.
And then you're like, well, you're.
Well, somebody is definitely getting punished.
Yeah.
That is for sure.
No, but it has to be like a message. Otherwise, you're implicitly saying that it's okay.
Yeah.
So someone's gonna get like literally like wiped off.
Y'all want to talk about some football?
Yeah, man. Talking about the Cleveland Browns at the Pittsburgh Steelers last night. But don't worry, folks who don't like sports.
No, it's pretty much a World Star video to me, honestly.
We are not talking about the game itself, only a moment that happened with 18 seconds to go.
Yeah, that was nuts.
All right, so I will describe the play really quick. Mason Rudolph, quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers, drops back and tries to throw a quick screen. A screen pass, for anyone who doesn't know, is when you throw a pass kind of laterally, right? No, not a lateral. What is it called when you throw it like that? Just like horizontally, kind of.
Are you talking about diagonally?
Not diagonally. I was gonna say diagonally, but like just like no. Is it?
That is laterally.
That is laterally, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
You're good.
All right.
A little up and over.
Yeah. So it's when offensive linemen run out to block for that real quick pass.
Yeah.
In an effort to so the pass rush rushes in, and then your players are just running out.
Okay, so I also don't watch much football, but a recap. So the pass that usually goes horizontally across the field, a very quick pass at the beginning.
You pass the ball. You pass the ball forward normally, and you're passing it sideways this time.
Yeah,
I should have just said sideways.
Sideways, horizontal, same
laterally,
shit.
Yeah.
Laterally,
yeah.
All synonyms.
Yeah.
You throw it sideways.
Yeah.
And the defensive people, whatever they're called, tried to run forward and block the quick pass, so they stopped.
No.
No?
Your offensive linemen, the guys who are blocking for you up front.
Offensive linemen.
They do not block for you like normally on a pass play.
Mm-hmm.
They run out to the side where the running back or whoever's
going to catch the ball.
Whoever's going to catch the ball. They try and get out in front of them so that when they catch the ball from the quarterback with that quick pass,
they have like a defensive shell, kind of.
Exactly.
Okay.
They just have a caravan.
Awesome.
Of just 300-pound brutes, just like dome,
like
dome.
Attack on Titan type shit.
Literally. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so quarterback drops back, throws the ball, and gets hit by a defensive lineman, number 95, named Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett is... James, can you do a fact check on this for me? But I believe he's like... Myles Garrett is like 6'5", probably like 310 pounds. And Mason Rudolph is like 6'2", 250 maybe?
That's 6'4", 271, 23 years old.
Okay.
It's like putting a heavyweight with like a featherweight.
Yes. Yeah. Well, not a featherweight, but like it's not a nice matchup.
Yeah.
Also, someone who's got like at least 5, maybe what do we say, 5 yards of
speed. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Just the acceleration.
Yeah, because it was a screen pass, so there was no offensive lineman there to protect. So he hits him and kind of like hits him into the ground, and he gets flagged for that.
Because that's after the play, yeah.
Well, it's not necessarily after the play, but it's away from the play. It's away from the play,
Got it.
and it's what's called roughing the passer, which is a 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down. Which is, for people who don't know, that is very good. So he kind of drives him into the ground, and Rudolph doesn't like that shit, because, like, who the fuck would want to be driven into the ground after they had been losing to this point? It was at the very end of the fourth quarter, so obviously he's, like, very frustrated. So he kind of kicks out and, like, tries to, like, I don't know what was going through his head that made him do this, but, like, he tried to rip off the guy who was on him, Myles Garrett. He tried to rip off his helmet. He was kind of, like, kicking out at him.
Got it.
He may have gotten him in the nuts.
Yikes.
So then Garrett is just like he's livid. So he gets up.
Because he literally just got kicked in the nuts.
Yeah, he gets up, literally pulls the quarterback up by his helmet, rips off the helmet, and this is with like two offensive linemen like kind of around, like two behemoth boys are around trying to like protect their quarterback.
Yeah, so this is hella ballsy.
Oh, the center is usually the smallest offensive.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought he was the biggest guy. It was always the fattest.
No.
Maybe
Right.
It was just my football team.
Left-
It was the fattest dude.
Tackles usually the biggest. So he rips off his helmet and like swings it back the fuck down on him. So these are devices made to stop like human missiles from getting concussions when they collide 50 times a game. That is what these devices are made to do. And think about that coming down on a human uncovered skull with a professional athlete who's probably got like not a lot of body fat, not a ton, and he's just all fucking muscle.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean,
All
that's
muscle, all power.
that's against like raw skull. Like your skull is
Yeah.
not meant to
Your
withstand
shit is
that type of pressure.
exposed.
You could get popped.
Now, luckily, it was kind of the under part of the helmet where it's like it's hard, but it's not like super fucking dense and like enough of a surface to like really get someone.
Yeah.
Ma-
It kind of looked like it kind of like grazed him a bit rather than like totally just bonked off.
Yeah, it definitely made contact. Definitely made
Oh,
contact.
definitely hit him.
Yeah.
He tanked it though.
That was a graze.
This quarterback could have died.
Yeah.
He legitimately could have died. That is literally that. Just I'm imagining that force, and it could just be like a bowling ball hitting your skull, just with that much force and that much just of the surface, just being able to hit your head. He could have died.
Well, I mean, if it hit you in the temple or something like that, you're definitely getting knocked out
Yeah,
at least.
temple is nice and soft and gushy. So then, one of the offensive linemen, resident fucking badass, Marquise Pouncey, comes out, pushes him, punch him in the face, 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 punch him in the face. He's on the ground now. There's another offensive lineman literally on top of him. He's kicking him. He's still punching him.
Yeah, he definitely said like it's go time.
This man Marquise Pouncey said after the game, he said, "I blacked out. I don't remember what happened." That is pure instinct of just being like, my boy's getting attacked. Go time.
Yo, that's loyalty to like a fault. Like he really just like went after him. Like,
Oh, and he's suspended for 3 games now.
well, not as bad as the other guy though. Right?
Oh yeah, he's suspended indefinitely. And that can, I think he could be suspended a year. I think he could be suspended for 6 games. I think he could be suspended for maybe his career, because he literally could have killed him.
His career?
He could be banned, dude.
Yeah.
He that's assault. That is as close to a crime as you will ever see on an NFL field.
That would be like taking a bat up to the mound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally.
It's assault with a weapon, basically.
It is assault with a deadly weapon.
Yeah.
You could kill somebody with that. And you know, he was incited, right? He was driven to do that.
What, Myles?
Yeah. He wasn't driven to specifically hit him, but he was driven to lash out because I would have lashed out too if I'm getting kicked in the nuts. Would I have hit him with his fucking helmet? Probably not. I probably would have just shoved his ass or something. But
He also kind of started with the foul though.
that's the other
Yeah,
thing.
he
That is
started,
the
so
other
it's like,
thing.
What are you gonna expect, bro?
He started it by being excessive when he did. It wasn't even close to necessary.
Yeah.
So obviously the quarterback has a part to play, but not his fault at the end of the day. Bars.
Yeah.
I will say I find it interesting that the quarterback didn't get fined or suspended.
Yeah.
For kicking someone in the nuts.
Or just his partner.
Grabbing his helmet, yeah.
Could they find him for grabbing his helmet, though? Oh, yeah, that's...
It's a personal foul.
It's a personal foul. Yeah. No.
Football helmet is 6 pounds, by the way.
Oh!
No, thank you.
Imagine, and that's, so, and you can bring that down with so much more force.
Oh, yeah, it's like, it's right in your hand. Perfect club.
So that's...
Oh, God.
That's 6 pounds. Think about how dense
thick
that layer is.
Yeah.
Jesus. And also, these are guys who, spend every day pretty much at the gym
Yeah.
working out.
Yep.
Think about how fast... I'm just thinking about how fast you could bring that fucking thing down. Oh, my God.
I genuinely think we are lucky we didn't see somebody die on the football field last night.
For real.
And that's why I think that there's potential for a life ban. He could have killed a man.
Yeah.
And again, Mason Rudolph 100% had a part to play in this. But when you literally try and kill someone, which he may have not intentionally been I want to kill this man.
But it might have been an anger management moment of lapse of
just and he's come out and he's
mental
apologized and this and that. But your career is done.
Yeah.
I mean maybe not.
Maybe not done, but it makes him very hot. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's such a he's damaged goods now.
Yeah.
He's become a liability and for any team.
Yeah. And anything that he does in his career will always be connected to this.
What do you think comes first, getting dropped by the Browns or indefinite or a year long or lifelong or 2 years?
My money would be on a year-long suspension
before getting dropped by the Browns.
Yeah, the Browns picked up a domestic abuser that was on tape kicking the shit out of his girl. So
yeah,
they're not the principle of morals.
Not really.
I wouldn't even, but I mean, I don't. Yeah, that's true. I don't think they're very. Obviously, football teams aren't very moral.
Yeah.
But I think the one thing about this
I think some are. I think some are better than others.
Sure, but my point being that that's not, you don't have to worry about the liability of your players and others.
Yeah.
In those situations, really, as much as you have to worry about someone else, because that's why I was thinking they would maybe drop him, because this guy might wild out and hit someone in the head in practice or.
The thing is, he was the first overall pick in the draft a couple years ago.
And then there's that.
So he is such a valuable commodity that even now, it's oh, you can't cut him.
Yeah.
He's too good to cut.
He's too good to cut. And that really sucks that is going to be the position of the team. But it just is.
I mean, that's sports usually.
Yeah.
It's cool to see a fight on the football field, a drop.
Oh yeah, that was interesting.
Believe me, I loved Marquise Pouncey getting down. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Someone was also kicking homie when he was on the ground.
That was Marquise
him.
Pouncey.
Was he kicking?
That was Marquise. That was
he went
Marquise
in.
Pouncey. Yeah.
He went in.
No, he was you can tell you're oh yeah, Marquise Pouncey. I would bring Marquise Pouncey to hell with me.
Yeah.
So I think that does it for the Plan C podcast for today. Shout out to James. Shout out to Studio 66 here. Shout out to producer Crayola.
El Gato.
Anything you got to plug today?
Any plugs? Shout outs to my boy Johanse from Flock Media. Man's been doing a lot of good stuff. I'll actually be going to one of his events tomorrow. We'll do shout outs to him. He throws cool parties for people in college.
All right, yeah. So that's all for us. Good job by you.
As a non-football or baseball watcher, this was interesting.
Yeah.
Clearly, this has like historical precedence.
Yeah.
Which I probably wouldn't have like been able to realize how significant this was.
Yeah.
I heard it.
Yeah. I'm glad that we were able to explain it to you. Thanks, America. Bye-bye.
Deuces.